Defendant Smollett further detailed that he wanted Abel to attack him, but not hurt him too badly.
The scratches and bruising that you saw on his face was most likely self-inflicted.
The staged attack lasted 45 seconds.
We have evidence that we have the check that he used to pay them.
Today, Chicago authorities laying out what they say is the twisted tale of Jussie Smollett.
This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary.
It's been a saga that's lasted for 3 weeks.
There's a rope around my neck. They put a rope around my neck.
The accused attackers, caught on tape buying red hats and ski masks, now testifying against him before a grand jury. And today, one more twist. Entertainer Jussie Smollett arrested and charged.
Do you believe your brother's story?
Smollett attempted to gain attention by sending a false letter that relied on racial, homophobic, and political language. When that didn't work, Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack.
Authorities now saying that reported hate crime was all a hoax.
How do you not believe that? It's the truth.
I think the question on everyone's minds is, will Jussie Smollett be prosecuted? Will he go to jail? While this is not a violent crime, this is a significant crime.
If this is true, that Jussie put together this hoax, then I think what we're looking at is something much, much deeper psychologically, emotionally that may be going on.
In a courtroom today, Smollett listened to prosecutors lay out their case.
Jussie Smollett appearing at his bond hearing, a serious look on his face throughout, turning to his lawyers, whispering things, sometimes nodding in agreement. His family standing in support of him, just 2 rows behind him.
Smollett out on a $100,000 bond. Chopper footage capturing him heading back to the Empire studio.
Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?
It was the morning of January 29th.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, Jussie Smollett reported that he was the victim of a hate crime.
Smollett claimed he was walking home from a Subway restaurant when he said 2 men physically attacked him, hurling racist and homophobic slurs. Smollett describing that moment to ABC News.
As I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire, and I don't answer to Empire. I kept walking, and then I heard Empire. So I turned around and I said, "What did you just say to me?" And I turned around and I see the attacker masked, and he said, "This MAGA country," punches me right in the face. So I punched his back. And then we started tussling. Then it just stopped. And they ran off. I noticed the rope around my neck and I started screaming.
Chicago police immediately begin investigating.
Anytime a hate crime is reported in the city of Chicago, it gets the same attention.
But his entire story was about to come under fire.
From the very beginning, we had some questions about it.
During that time frame, we interviewed over 100 individuals in a canvass of the area. We located approximately 35 of our Chicago police pod cameras. We additionally found over 20 private sector cameras.
Through those cameras, they identified 2 persons of interest, brothers, tracking them through cab and rideshare records for a week.
We tracked them to going to O'Hare Airport and jumping on a flight to Nigeria. We were able to locate and identify these 2 individuals, these 2 persons of interest, when they entered into the country at customs. We took them into custody.
Police say that the brother's attorney made a compelling offer.
She said that something smelled fishy. She did not think that they were the offenders as were reported. It was at that time that this investigation started to spin in a completely new direction.
Police say they learned that Smollett's alleged attack was actually days in the making.
Defendant Smollett then stated that he wanted to stage an attack where Abel would appear to batter him. Defendant Smollett also suggested that Abel's older brother Ola assist him with the attack.
Prosecutors also claim he enlisted the brother's help, having had business dealings in the past.
Abel was a source of designer drugs for defendant Smollett.
Allegedly, first Smollett made arrangements to meet one of the brothers at the Empire Studios to discuss that threatening letter he had received.
Smollett indicated to Abel his displeasure of the Empire Studios' handling of the racist and homophobic letter he received 3 days prior.
The return address said in big red, like caps, MAGA. Did I make that up too?
Yes, prosecutors said he did make it up. They said cameras captured the trio planning the attack.
Defendant Smollett also included that he wanted Ola to place a rope around his neck, pour gasoline on him, and yell, "This is MAGA country." The stage attack lasted 45 seconds. There was a change in the plan in that bleach was going to be used instead of gasoline.
A key part of his plan, that light pole, a camera on the top of it, he thought would catch the whole thing. The only problem, it was pointed in a different direction.
During the Good Morning America interview, Smollett stated,
"It feels like if I had said it was a Muslim or a Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot much more."
These statements by Smollett further misled the police and the public to believe his attackers were white.
Today, his legal team pushed back on the charges. Today, we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. Mr. Smollett is a young man of impeccable character and integrity who fiercely and solemnly maintains his innocence and feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing. Smollett once touted himself as an activist for communities targeted by hate.
I just want young people, young members of the LGBTQ community, young black children to know how strong that they are, to know the power that they hold in their little pinky.
For Jussie Smollett, as an African-American gay man who purported to be a social activist during Black History Month, to actually use symbols of a noose, yelling, "This is MAGA country," it's almost as if he was using the very divisiveness that we see in this country and exploiting it to his advantage.
Bogus police reports cause real harm. My concern is that hate crimes will now publicly be met with a level of skepticism.
An FBI report showed a 17% rise in the number of hate crimes reported across the country.
It is also clear that the instances of false reportings are very low, somewhere between 2% and 8%. What this alleged hoax may do is it may embolden people to commit more of these crimes?
Well, if in fact he did make up this story that it is an elaborate hoax, I don't see a bad person. What I do see is someone who is in a lot of psychological pain.
For psychologist Jeff Gardere, who has never examined Smollett, moments like this speaks volumes.
You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
It was fascinating where he talked about, if you make something up like this, you do a disservice to other people who've been victims. Yes, that is absolutely true, but is that also the unconscious talking and sort of revealing what may have been going on with him in his mind?
I will never be the man that this did not happen to. I am forever changed.
Smollett now facing an uphill battle to salvage his reputation. Fox, the studio that produces Empire, saying that they're evaluating the situation and we are considering our options. As for the city of Chicago, they say he only has one option.
Absolute justice would be an apology to this city that he smeared. I just wish that the families of gun violence in this city got this much attention, because that's who really deserves the amount of attention that we're giving to this particular incident.
For Nightline, I'm Eva Pilgrim in Chicago.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.